Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another series on the channel, and welcome to Courtland, Minnesota. In the last video you may have heard that we recently bought a farm up here just west of Minneapolis, about an hour west actually, and that we also recently got hired with Delta to be their A320 family pilot as well as their A330s. So exciting times, exciting times. Look up ahead. We emptied out all of our retirement savings, all that. Got some inheritance money. And we now have $1.9 million to work with to buy implements and all that. We already bought our land, what we're going to be using today. That's all already got the mortgage set and ready to go. Although the guy said that he wanted to sell the grain bin on the property separately from the property, so when we get there I'll have to sign for the grain bin as well and make sure that it's in my name. But yeah, right now it's a very mild day here in Minnesota, a little bit dusty it looks like, the wind picking up the dust off the fields. Not a lot of hills here, kind of a flat area, but that's alright. I'll take a 60-degree March rather than a 32 and snowing, as this area frequently receives. So, you know what? I'll take it. Passing by some of our neighbors here. That must be a co-op or something. That is a massive grain setup there. Look at that. And then that's our neighbor there. I briefly met them. They're the Burkharts. Really nice people. Yeah. But that right there is our farm that we recently just bought. So we'll go ahead, pull in here, and here it is, Pilot Point Ranch. There we go. We can go ahead and park up here at the house. Alright, and here it is. Man, this is a really nice setup that we got here. You briefly saw the farmhouse. It's over there. Pretty modestly sized, but honestly, I like it. It's a pretty nice house. A little old, definitely needs some TLC, but nothing some new wallpaper and some new furniture can't fix. We have a ton in the means of storage. Over here we have what appears to be our workshop. I'll probably use this to fix on the tractors and the machines, and also store our seed and our liquid pallets whenever we're not using them. So that's a good place to store them. Over here we have another cold storage shed. I'm not quite sure I want to divvy up the equipment right now. That'll kind of, we'll just kind of play that by ear. Over here is the soup up grain bin, which actually they're gonna, my realtor just called me here, so we're gonna get this now bought right now. $100,000. Alright. Yep, thank you, sir. That was just my realtor. Went ahead and bought that grain bin right there. $100,000 extra. I mean, I think it's worth it. Be able to dry that corn. It comes with a dryer as well. Huh, that door's locked. I'll have to go through the actual shed openings. And then here's going to be our main machine hall. I think that's where we're going to store most of my implements and tractors, stuff like that. We'll go ahead and get all these open, because we have to go shopping for machinery after this. Alright, and down here, there's this weird little, almost old cattle barn that we have. I'm not quite sure what to do with it yet, but we'll find a purpose for it. And then down here, we have another shed for us to put to some use. So all in all, we have a really nice setup here. And if we look at our map here right now, we own 4 fields right now. We own fields 40, 32, 23, and 22. This has got a rating, a yield potential of 102%. This one's got about 99%, which is okay. 88%, which is a little bit yikes. And 84%, which, I mean, we got some good land and we got some questionable land. But all of it should be fine, should still make us money at the end of the day. So, now that we got our field, it's all ready to go. Let's briefly look over our finances, see what we have here. So part of the money that we have here is we took out a $1.5 million operating / land / equipment loan. This is kind of a one size fits all, and since we already mortgaged all the land, we were able to back this loan by our current land. So is it a little bit risky? Yes, it is. Was it smart? No, but they gave us 3.5% interest rate, and we have a 15-year mortgage, not mortgage, but loan on this. So we'll be paying $10,853 every month, which is a bit pricey, but we'll make sure that we cash flow everything properly. Yeah, next thing we got to do is we got to get up here in this house. I'll give you a quick house tour, and then we'll get to buying some equipment here. So as I said, it is an older house. We'll definitely need to get a new TV in here. But I'm glad that they left this piano. This looks like a really nice little piano. I've never learned how to play the piano. I mean, I'm a music guy. I've loved music all my life. Just never learned how to play the piano. And here we have a nice kitchen. A bit tight here with the oven space, but other than that, looks really nice. Can maybe put a nice little breakfast table there. Got a nice dinner table here, fit for two. It's just me, so that's all we need. And here's the master bedroom. Here's where I'll sleep. Closet there, and then here is my bathroom. Ooh, can I fit in there? I guess not. Alright, gotta lay off the donuts then. And then here is the office. Here's where we'll go ahead. We'll purchase all of our seed, fertilizer, herbicide, pesticides, and all of our equipment, which we'll do now. Alright, so I just finished purchasing all of my equipment from the shop. They're getting it all out of storage now and out into their lot for me to pick up. Since it's not too far away, I declined them to deliver it to me, so we're going to have to deliver everything. So this should be fun. But yeah, we got a lot of equipment here, and we still have a fair bit of money left over. That will be used to cash flow most of our expenses. We may be able to purchase one more field, we'll see. But that will all come in due time. Alright, so we arrived here at the shop here. Here's all the equipment that we purchased here. We'll just go pretty much down the line. I'll show you what I got. So we bought a John Deere 4755. This thing's pretty much been reworked a couple times in its life. Its current engine's got about 3,000 hours on it, so it was a really good steal. And we got it for about, I want to say, 50,000, 60,000, somewhere around that ballpark. So this is going to be one of our work tractors. It'll be able to run planting, for spraying. It'll be able to roll. I'm not sure if it'll be able to run our gravity wagons. We'll see. And we have a plow here that it will also be able to pull for when we need to work on the compact areas. Over here we have a John Deere 8410. Now, fun little fact, this is my favorite tractor of all time, is the 8410. So this will also be used to, do planting, spraying, rolling, and this will be able to run the gravity wagons, I know for sure. Over here we have a John Deere 9620. It was a bit overkill for our purposes, but it was the only, I don't want to accidentally say the wrong number series, so it was only the only tractor like this that they had for sale at the moment. I mean, I am still a newbie, so please bear with me. But yeah, it's got 500 horsepower. It's just our towing tractor. This will be doing all of our fall and spring tillage. Maybe it might run grain cart one day. We'll see. But yeah, she's a brute. And over here we have a John Deere 1760. It's a 12-row planter for us. I tried to get a 1775 NT, a 24-row, and we did do a test run with it with the 8410. It was able to pull it at 8 miles per hour. However, it wasn't loaded up with seed and fertilizer, so I would imagine that, plus if it were going up a hill, we just went with the safe option with the 1760. We might demo one in the future, we'll see. Anyways, moving on, we have a nice sprayer here. This is probably one of our newer, if not the newest piece of equipment we have. It's a John Deere R732i power spray. This is what we use to apply, we'll do our side dressing, as well as do our crop protection, such as our herbicides and pesticides. So this will be a very important piece of machinery, so I decided to spare no expense. Over here we have a roller. Nothing special. I think they even took out the branding. Dealer doesn't even know what brand this is. They called it a Lizard. I don't know. Never heard of them before. But yeah, that's our roller. Right here we have a Great Plains field cultivator. So this will be our fall tillage implement. So once we're done with the crop and stuff, we'll roll over this with our Great Plains cultivator. And then in March, before we start planting, we'll go over the field with this tillage disc. It's a Landau 743 1VT. Now, the dealer said that technically all we needed to buy was this. However, I asked some neighbors around. They said that they would just get both these implements just in case. Over here we have two Brent 744 gravity wagons. The reason why I bought these and not a grain cart is because I don't know if the truck can make it out there in the field, and also grain carts are expensive, so these will have to do. This truck might be able to make it out to the field, and if it does, great. We'll just have two things that we'll be able to dump into. If not, then we made a good call with the gravity wagons. On down here, we have a seed tender that we'll use to obviously pour seed into our... and the words are failing me right now. Our planter, not our seeder. Ooh, don't get those two mixed up. Moving over here, we have a Bobcat 86.3. This is my skid steer. This is what we'll use to unload pallets up at the farm. We're gonna have to do that quite a bit. So I wanted to get a nice Bobcat. Thought about going with the Kubota, but it was almost $100,000, and I thought that was a bit excessive for a skid steer. Over here we have our PJ trailer. This is what we'll use to haul pallets and stuff. Although we might need to get a way bigger trailer considering on what our load needs might be. So we'll talk to the dealer about that. We might upgrade in gooseneck trailer. Right here we have our John Deere Gator. This will be our fun little toy around the ranch. Also, not the ranch. I call it Pilot Point Ranch. It's a whole thing. I know it's not really a ranch, but let me just live my dream. Anyways. It's got GPS on the top here so that way we can map out our fields if ever we need to. Also, it's just a fun thing to drive around. Not in the winter time. Heck no. But when it's nice and hot out, you go exploring around your part here. It's a fun thing when you got the time. Moving past, we have a John Deere 9610. Now, this is probably one of our oldest pieces of machinery. It's got one rework in its entire life. This one has, I think, 7,000 hours on it. The dealer said it's a really reliable machine, and we got it for a really good price. We just might need to do some maintenance on it, but I asked the dealer. He said that, I mean, all mechanical problems are cheap, and they're few and far between, so it's just that with that higher hours, we might run into a couple more than usual. But I've heard really good things about the 9610. You know, my neighbors had one for a while until they moved up to a S-Series. Alright, over here we have the John Deere 84.3. This is going to be our corn head. We have this trailer. Now, this is kind of funny because I think this has got, like, Portuguese or something on the back here. Maybe Spanish. I don't know, but this is our header trailer. And it came with this John Deere 620R. This will be our bean header. And so, I mean, I wasn't complaining. I'll take any trailer that they got. And then over here we have that chisel plow that I was talking about. Now, this will be used by the 4755, and this is what we'll use to kind of create that good seed bed for those compacted areas. So like where we drive the trucks in and out of the field and the grain carts, and where we load and unload all that in the field. That's just a good thing to go over with that. Make sure to unpack all that soil and whatnot and create a good seed bed. But anyways, we have a lot of equipment to ship and not a lot of time. Besides, I have to talk to my dealer about possibly upgrading in flatbeds, because that was the only thing online, but I talked to him earlier. He said he might have some things out back that he might have in stock for us, so we'll have to go see. We're gonna go park up there, and yeah, talk to you in a bit. Alright, so admittedly I might have done something a little silly. Please don't make fun of me for it. So you might be wondering, hey, where's your Silverado? Didn't you park it right there? And yes, I did originally park it there, until I traded it in for a Chevy Silverado 3500, and then also went ahead and bought myself a Tahoe. Look, okay, do I absolutely need 2 vehicles? No, alright? But it would be nice to have one vehicle I use for the farm and the one that I use as my kind of daily driver, because I do have a long commute, alright? So I don't want to destroy as much of the miles, you know what I mean. Like, this truck's going to be hard at work as it is. It doesn't need to be doing like 200 miles every single day, you know? So I mean, it probably will just do that on its own. It doesn't need another 200 miles on its own. And also, I had the money, so was this the wisest decision? No, it wasn't. But I made that decision anyways, because I am my own person, and it's my money. So we'll see how that works out for me. Yikes. Anyways, you'll also notice 2 flatbeds here. I have a load bed. Words here. Load King flatbed aluminum, and a much bigger PJ flat deck. Excuse me. This is like a 40-foot trailer. Hence why I opted for the 3500 to be able to pull a lot more weight. We're just gonna have to buy so many pallets of seed, fertilizer, and herbicide every year that we're most certainly gonna have to use 2 vehicles, and we'll still probably have to make 2 or 3 trips as it is. But yeah, we're gonna have, like, I was told I could fit maybe, let's see. Let me do the math here. So I could fit 20 pallets on this Load King right here, which is about 40,000 liters of fertilizer, and I could probably fit another 20 pallets. So that's 80,000 liters of product I could move in at one time. Now, yes, I'll probably have to hire one of my neighbors to drive for me, but that shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, this is our new purchase. We still got money in the bank, $577,000. We still have so much more money to cash flow our fields and stuff, and our debt to January. We're not going to be starving. In fact, we might again look at purchasing another field still with the amount of money that we have. But with that, we have to get all this equipment out of here. So we can't really use this flatbed for anything. I mean, unless we put it up to the loading dock there, and maybe that'd be a big enough bump to they could just roll up to the flatbed. I mean, we'll see what we can do. And yeah, we're just gonna go from there. so I was able to make it back from the farm here. We have the 4755 right there ready to unload everything. Don't worry, I'm not going to film all that. That would be boring. But still, doing one last check, making sure all the straps are nice and tight around the equipment. Making sure nothing's going to fall off. Perfect, perfect. And yeah, we're going to get this over to our farm. And this is probably where I'm going to leave y'all guys off until we get everything to the farm, and then I'll show you where everything is going to go, how it's going to kind of work there. And then I think we gotta, we have to go purchase our field information. I had a guy come around earlier and did some soil samples, so I just need to pay him, and then he'll email me the findings later. And then we'll also have to purchase seed, because I want to do it in March. It's already going to be pretty expensive. It's, again, that time of year, but I think I might save a little bit of money if I do it before April planting season. Because Lord knows there's going to be premiums on being late to the party when it comes to buying your fertilizer, your seed, and your herbicide. Let's see if I can't pass. Nope, nope, nope. There's a car coming. Never mind. I got a 40-foot trailer on too, so maybe I should just go slow through here. That might be the safest option. Because there's no way I'm making it, and I don't got that far to go. So we'll just be patient. But yeah, we'll tune back in once we have everything delivered to the farm. Alright, it's a bit later in the day here, but we finally got everything delivered to our farm here. So now I'll just kind of show you where everything's at right now. You can see over there we have the truck and the shed there. That's because that's pretty much where it fits. And we have the Tahoe in our garage here. You can see the Tahoe barely fits in here, but we still have enough time, enough room to get around, get in. So it'll do good here. I might have to buy myself a lawnmower later down the road because I have some grass to take care of. But anyways, that's a later project. Over here is the trailer and truck shed. This is where we're keeping our snowplow truck right here because it's Minnesota, and so we need a snowplow. Also, I went ahead and put some extra grain storage in the back of it. I doubt we'll ever need to use it, but it's just good to have. Also, we can put salt back there, and we can dump salt on the road as we move along the way. Because I also have an agreement with the county where I get a property tax deduction from my town here, the county, as long as this little road right here, this county road that I live on, gets plowed whenever it needs to be plowed. So it's a bit of an inconvenience, yeah. We'll definitely have to somehow work that around our piloting job, but I think everything should be fine. But yeah, this is where our Peterbilt is staying for now. We did park the flatbed here and the grain trailer pretty close here. That should be fine. We only have one truck right now running everything. Right now we have the grain carts just out here. There's tarps over them, so I'm not too worried about them. Plus, we're not getting any rain anytime soon. And I have no intention of backing these things into a shed anytime soon. These things are a pain in the butt to back up. I have done it before, and it sucks. So any chance I get, I paid an extra $1,500 per cart just to get the tarps on them, so that way rain won't get in them. Honestly, money well spent there, because I hate backing those things in. And here is our main machine hall. We have the combine right here. We have our 9620, and this is the 9000 series. That I remember now. My silly brain. It's got the Landall back here. We have the Ripper. That's what it's called. The Ripper. Our 4755 or 8410. Planter and sprayer. All back here in the shed. Up there in that house, that big shed, not the big shed, is our Bobcat. Right now we just have the Gator out. That'll also go up in our maintenance shed right there. We have the roller just sitting out here. Again, if you thought those gravity wagons were a pain to back up, this thing is impossible. Like, I mean impossible. Never, ever waste your time trying to back a stupid field roller up. Just pull it around, leave it in the yard somewhere, and just let it be. You will never get back those hours of your life. And back here, though it feels kind of like a waste of space, it's the only shed that's tall enough for this implement. So this is where our cultivator is going to stay for now. Later down on the line, once I get into some livestock and animals, we're going to be doing some other things like either some silage or hay. Either way, we're going to need some shed space for that, so this is probably what this shed will also turn into. But yeah, we still got a month till planting, but with that, we're going to close everything up here, and then we're going to go ahead and get our seeds, fertilizer, herbicide, all bought before the end of the month. And then we have to pretty much pack up tonight and leave to head to Minneapolis, where we're going to be gone pretty much till the end of April. So we're going to get our seed order in, and then it should be ready to pick up at the shop by April for us. Alright, and that's going to do it for this episode of Farming Sim 25. I know this isn't the usual outro, but there's some video things, editing things, some minor behind the scenes things that it's just going to be easier to do the outro this way. So we're going to do it this way. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. God bless and have a fantastic rest of your week.